August has been a busy month in the world of science. We've detected water on Mars, considered how conscious comatose patients are, and even had a new shape theorised. In this video, we'll take a look at some of the biggest science news stories that shaped this month. Starting us off is a never-before attempted double flyby manoeuvre around both the Earth and the Moon. The European Space Agency, ESA's Jupiter Icy Moons Explorer, or JUICE, successfully completed the world's first double flyby manoeuvre this month. It involved JUICE passing close to the Moon and the Earth in quick succession, and is known as a double gravity assist manoeuvre. On the 19th of August, the JUICE probe made use of the Moon's gravity to brake and change its course. It then flew past Earth on the 20th of August at just 6,840 kilometers above Southeast Asia and the Pacific Ocean, altering its speed and direction. This manoeuvre saved around 100 to 150 kilograms of fuel, which will allow JUICE to orbit Jupiter's moon, Ganymede, at 200 kilometers in 2035. This historic manoeuvre not only demonstrates our ability to navigate the solar system with precision, but it also brings us one step closer to unlocking the mysteries of Jupiter and its icy moons. While JUICE heads towards the outer solar system, closer to home, a new research study may have revealed where all of Mars's water may have gone. Data presented in a new research paper suggests that there is liquid water in the mid-crust of Mars at around 10 to 20 kilometers deep. The study used rock physics models to come to this conclusion, using data collected by NASA's InSight lander, which landed on Mars in 2018. The InSight lander was the first Mars mission to study the inner space of Mars, including its crust, its mantle, and its core. This finding may indicate that there is more water stored in the Martian crust than previously believed, and may answer the question of where all of Mars's water went. It could also reshape our understanding of the red planet's past and its potential to harbour life, moving the search for Martian life underground. Moving from space then to the wheel, where researchers have literally reinvented it. Mathematicians have discovered theoretical shapes that roll in any dimension, and these shapes have constant width, meaning that their size is the same no matter how you turn them. In 2D, the Rayleigh triangle has the smallest area of all the constant width shapes. A perfect example of a constant width shape in 3D is a ball. No matter how you turn a ball, its width will remain the same. So for example, with a ball, if you give it a try, if you notice, your hands will never change their distance from each other. They're always the same distance from each other. However, if you try this with an egg, you'll notice your hands do change distance. They get closer and further away because an egg doesn't have constant width. In 3D, wheels roll because every point on its outer edge is the same distance from its center. And this idea can be extended to higher dimensions, as shown by this current story. The method they used also shows how to make these higher dimensional shapes much smaller than anyone really ever thought possible. This discovery isn't just a maths trick. It can open up new ways to think about space and dimensions we can't see, but can now understand a little bit better. Next, let's talk about the health benefits of fasting. New research has suggested that breaking the fast actually has more benefits than the fast itself. A study in mice found that after mice had abstained from food, stem cells moved to repair damage in their intestines, but only did once they began to eat again. To determine this, researchers split mice into three groups. You have group A, which were the mice that fasted for 24 hours. Group B, which were mice that fasted for 24 hours and then refed, which means they resumed eating for 24 hours after the initial 24-hour fast. And then finally, Group C, which were the mice that could eat whenever they wanted during the study. The mice in Group B had the fastest multiplication of intestinal stem cells, driven by an increase in molecules called polyamines. The downside to all this, the intestinal stem cells can be a source of precancerous cells, and the researchers found that the mice in Group B were more likely to develop tumours when compared to those that didn't fast, particularly during the refeeding period after fasting. It's important to note that the scientists activated a cancer-causing gene during this refeeding period, and this was to assess the potential risks of tumour development under conditions that could mimic those in genetically predisposed individuals. This highlights the need to consider the risks associated with refeeding, especially in vulnerable populations. While the findings are promising for potential therapies in conditions like Crohn's disease, the results also highlight the need for caution as the refeeding period creates a vulnerable state. Clinical trials are planned to see how this applies to humans. Our next story looks at some groundbreaking research in the fight against leukemia, which could offer hope for more personalised treatments. A recent study has identified 15 distinct subtypes of T-cell acute lymphoblastic leukemia, otherwise known as TEAL. This is a form of leukemia that mainly affects children. Researchers analysed the entire DNA sequence of both tumour cells and healthy cells from over 1,300 teal patients who had undergone the same treatment. Their findings revealed that all 15 teal subtypes had unique genetic and gene expression patterns, and patients with certain subtypes were more likely to have residual cancer cells after treatment. The researchers were able to categorise these subtypes into different risk levels, ranging from very high to very low. And this classification could enable doctors to recommend more intensive chemotherapy for high-risk subtypes and less aggressive treatments for lower-risk subtypes. This would allow them to select more effective treatment or more effective therapies from the outset. This breakthrough could lead to more personalised and effective treatments for young leukemia patients, potentially saving more lives and improving long-term outcomes. Another recent health breakthrough is lecanemab. This is an Alzheimer's drug designed to slow cognitive decline. This month saw a heated debate over the drug's approval by the UK Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, or the MHRA, as it will not be made available on the UK's National Health Service, or NHS. The National Institute for Health and Care Excellence, or NICE, has said that the benefits of the drug are too small to justify its cost. A little bit of background to the drug, and Alzheimer's disease as well. Alzheimer's disease occurs when a protein called amyloid builds up in the brain, and this is thought to be toxic to brain cells, leading to their eventual death. Lecanemab works by using antibodies to target amyloid, aiding the brain's immune system in clearing the harmful buildup of amyloid. NICE's decision has significant implications for patients across the UK, as they concluded that lecanemab does not meet their criteria for clinical and cost effectiveness. The drug costs more than $20,000 per year in the US, and this doesn't include procedures required to identify eligible patients. Additionally, the effectiveness of the drug is under debate. In a 2022 trial, 1,795 early-stage Alzheimer's patients who received lecanemab showed a 27% reduction in cognitive decline, compared with those who received a placebo. The trial also suggested a 56% reduction in loss of quality of life. Some scientists argue that this is too small a difference to have a meaningful effect on patients, however. There are also safety concerns associated with lecanemab, particularly regarding amyloid-related imaging abnormalities, or ARIA. These include side effects like brain swelling and bleeding. And while severe cases of ARIA are rare, the risks are present. Despite all of these concerns, the MHRA has approved lecanemab, determining it to be safe and effective. Meanwhile, the European Medicines Agency, EMA, initially rejected the drug, but is currently reviewing this decision. The decision by NICE is not final, and it remains to be seen if they will eventually approve the drug for NHS use. Finally, a groundbreaking study has revealed that a quarter of comatose patients might actually be conscious. The study scanned 353 people with brain injuries, 241 of which could not react to any standard bedside test and were considered physically unresponsive. The remaining 112 were physically responsive. Researchers used a combination of fMRI, which is an indirect measure of brain activity, and EEG, which is a direct measure of brain activity, to assess consciousness. Among the physically unresponsive, around 25% showed brain activity when asked to imagine specific actions, such as playing tennis or moving their hand. The physically responsive patients, however, did slightly better, with around 38% of them showing consistent brain activity. This research is significant because it suggests that some of these patients might be able to communicate in the future using brain interfaces or brain-computer interfaces, despite their physical unresponsiveness. This groundbreaking study opens up new possibilities for communication and care, offering hope to those who might be more aware than we actually think they are. As we've seen, August has been full of groundbreaking discoveries and debates, from the depths of space to the intricacies of our own minds and bodies. If you've enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.